Greetings once again from quarantine, everybody. Today, on behalf of Frontstretch.com, I am Davey Segal. To my left, probably your right, you see the mullet man, Michael Massie himself. I think we need that on a t-shirt. That's the quadruple M's. Mullet man, Michael Massie. I like it. Michael Massie, how you doing, kid?
That's an awesome alliteration right there. Doing pretty good. How you doing, Davey?
I am good. We got a lot to unpack when it comes to the Daytona Road Course. We saw it for the first time in the Cup Series yesterday. Chase Elliott's the man who wins the race, and we'll get to that in 1 minute. But before we dive into any of that, ARCA had their time on the road course, so did the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series. Overall, as an experiment, how do you think this whole thing went? Cup cars on the Daytona Road Course as well as other divisions.
So I thought it was good. Okay, it was good racing. Nothing was really bad about it, but it didn't exactly blow me away like the Charlotte Roval did the first time. The first time we raced there, that was incredible.
Right.
So it wasn't bad, but maybe we could do it again. I wouldn't hate doing it again.
I feel the same way, to a T, pretty much. I mean, I'm glad that they did this as an experiment of sorts because when curveballs get thrown your way, you got to adjust, right? You can't go to Watkins Glen, so let's go to another road course. We don't want to take a road course off our schedule. Hey, maybe let's go to a new one. Let's try Daytona. Why not? I'm glad they did that, but I saw a tweet. I don't remember who it was, so forgive me, but the layouts of the Roval at Charlotte and the Daytona Road Course are pretty identical, and it didn't really occur to me until that moment when I was like, oh, that's why this doesn't feel crazy because I think I've seen this before. Like the layout is somewhat identical. So I'm glad that they did something different. They switched it up schedule-wise, venue-wise. But at the same time, I'd definitely rather go back to Watkins Glen. And if you're going to add another road course on the schedule, I would definitely rather have Road America, VIR, Road Atlanta, something that's a proper road course than a Daytona road course. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm right there with you 100%. Watkins Glen has been probably the best road course in recent years. So that's a huge loss not being able to race there, but it's understandable. I'm glad they did do another road course instead of just racing at Charlotte, 10 times this season. It's good that they were flexible to try something new.
Remember like 2 months ago when we thought that the rest of the season was just going to be races at Charlotte and Darlington? Those are the days, Massie, I tell you.
Yeah. Hey, I would take 36 Darlingtons.
You're not alone on that. Maybe not 36. I'd take like maybe 25. Call it a day.
Okay. I'll take that.
Somebody that had a good day at Darlington and also had a good day yesterday was Chase Elliott. I think it's time that we crown him the new road course king. He's won the last 3 road course events, I think 4 of the last 6, and he now has 4 career road course victories, which ties him among active Cup drivers, Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch, with the most. So what's stopping us from crowning Chase Elliott as the new road course king? I think there's nothing.
Well, I think he's obviously one of the best ones at road course right now. The other one that's pretty good is Martin Truex Jr., as you mentioned, who would have been a factor if it wasn't for that speeding penalty on pit road. And it took him the whole rest of the race to get back up there. He ended up 3rd for the 5th week in a row, so 3 for Dale. So it's between those two. Chase has had more success, but as far as skill, Truex is right there with him.
All right, I'll give you that one. I do think that if Truex did not have that penalty and he didn't have to start at the tail end of the longest line, he definitely would have been more of a factor because the 19 and the 9 definitely had the quickest cars. But I don't want to skip over somebody else who surprised us. How about that boy, Kaz Gagliala? He had no idea that he was going to be competing in the race, moreover in the Cup Series, moreover in the 3-car, moreover at Daytona until about, 36, 48 hours before the announcement came down. And what does he do? He gets a 7th place finish, led 3 laps in the middle of a pit cycle, and becomes the first driver to get a top 10 in their Cup Series debut since cousin Carl in 2004. Wow. He's probably doing backflips if he could do them. I mean, my goodness gracious, Kaz Gagliala, what a run for him, huh?
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, we knew Kaz Gagliala was a good road racer, but I didn't realize he would do that well against, Cup competition.
He said that he wanted to get a top 30, and he got a top 10.
Well, top 30, all he had to do was really start the race and be on the track the whole time, and I think he could have gotten that. But so he set the bar really low, but jumped way over it. He backflipped over the bar.
Another driver, and you mentioned it before we started recording, Michael McDowell, you kind of think of him as a road racer of sorts because he got that victory in Xfinity at Road America, I think a few years ago, right? this was his first career top 10 finish on a road course in the Cup Series. That blew my mind because you'd think that he would have definitely had one before, but no, this is the first time that he finally got over that hump.
Yeah, I think part of it is the cars were never really there for him before. He's always been good on road courses, but he'd have a car that could get him in the top 20, maybe top 15, but not quite a top 10. But Front Row seems to have, a little bit better equipment this year for some reason or another. So, they gave him the car. He displayed his ability. I thought he was going to get top 5 there for a little bit.
He was going to if he didn't pit at the end. I think you probably could have held him off.
Yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, McDowell having a career year. Most top 10s he's ever had in a season.
Exactly. Yep, that's what
could get 20th in points. He's right there in the mix for it. So good stuff from the McDriver.
What about Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace getting to a little bit more drama on another road course that looks exactly like the Roval? I think Bowman said that initially, or I think he came out after and said that Logano got into the 88, which caused the 88 to get into the 43. But Bubba was in line for a top 10 finish too, but I think he finished 25th when it was all said and done because he got spun out on the last lap after some contact there. So shortness of drama for sure.
Yeah, I was looking at the ticker when the white flag came out. Bubba Wallace was 8th. And then the next thing you know, he's not even on the ticker.
Yeah.
So what happened here?
I know.
But if you look at his Twitter, Logano was talking about in the post-race Zoom how he pitted because he didn't think he'd go from 7th, I believe, to win the race. Uh-huh. So he pitted to put on some fresh tires. And Bubba called him out on it, saying, you definitely tried to go from 10th to 1st on turn 1 of the last lap.
Yeah, I think it was like Bob Pockris quoted or tweeted something and said Joey Logano says that he knew he wasn't going to win it from 10th to 1st on the first turn of the first lap of the restart. And then Bubba was like, well, he sure as hell tried to. So that kind of told us all we needed to know there. But, hey, I mean, I'm down for road course drama. I'm down for road course beef in general. Give it all. I love it.
Yeah, I'm just sad that because of the pandemic, I think it eliminated the possibility of Bowman taking a bottle of Powerade or Gatorade, I can't remember which one, throwing it in Bowman's face, or I guess it would have been Logano in this case. Right.
But it would have been good. Who knows? I mean, there still was a fight during a pandemic. Don't tell that to Noah Gragson or Harrison Burton. So we'll see. Let's briefly touch on Dover, the doubleheader that's upcoming this weekend. I'm really excited. I'm actually, hopefully, knock on wood, if my car cooperates, because I got the email this morning that I will be on site. So very excited about that. And the bubble is getting very interesting. It has been interesting for the past month or so, but Matt DiBenedetto did not do himself any favors yesterday in terms of gaining some ground on a road course, which we thought that he would. Jimmy Johnson did do well, came home with a top 5 finish. By the way, his first top 5 on a road course since 2012 at Watkins Glen. That blew me away. Wow. What do you think about Dover, the doubleheader weekend? Can we see possibly a surprise winner, a bubble winner, somebody maybe shake up the playoff picture, or is it going to be kind of a dominating weekend for Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, maybe Chase Elliott or Brad Keselowski?
Well, I think it'll kind of be the way the season's gone out with, Harvick and Hamlin, maybe some Truex or Keselowski in there battling for it. But you never know because who's the king of Dover?
Jimmy,
JJ himself. So if he's going to have one last hurrah, I think he could go in there and sweep the weekend, pad his stats for the most wins all time at a track that's been around since 1969, I believe. And old JJ can get it done, which I think he kind of has to win to get in because he had a top 5, but because William Byron got stage points, he didn't gain that much on the bubble.
Stage points too.
Yeah. So, he's going to have to do a little more than just top 5s to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, winning controls your own destiny, right? I don't think that Jimmy has to win a race, but I think it's going to be hard for him to point his way in given the way that things are going. And considering we have 3 races left, 2 are at Dover, 1's at Daytona. Daytona is a wild card in and of itself, and you could for sure see a surprise winner come out of there. And then if Jimmy was in position on points to make it, if you get a surprise winner of, I don't know, let's just throw out a random name, John Hunter Nemechek, that means Jimmy's out. So I agree with you on that sense. He needs to win if he wants to control his own destiny and control his own fate, but the chance of him pointing his way in is still there, albeit probably not the way to go.
Right. And also Daytona, Jimmy's been caught up in his share of big ones over the years. So you can't rely on that. You can't, you
Not
need to be securely in before that race.
That's right. Well, we got 3 races to go until the regular season concludes and the playoffs start. And before the playoff stretch, why don't you head over to Patreon and support us here at Frontstretch, patreon.com/Frontstretch, to help get reporters like myself and the mullet man, Michael Massie, to the racetrack, either in a pandemic or when we're back to normal. Who knows? But regardless, we would love your support on Patreon. There's some exclusive content there for you guys to consume, whether it be written portions of things, audio portions of things, or seeing our cute mugs in video. So, Massie, the people need to support us on Patreon. Am I right?
Yes, they do. Absolutely. It's for a good cause, for getting us guys to the racetrack and keeping doing what we love and giving you this awesome coverage.
Our boss man, Tom, is saying, yes, thank you for helping us with that sell job. So, Tom, that was for you. But for Michael Massie, the mullet man himself, thank you for joining me, my friend. And we will hopefully talk to you guys next week. After a double dose of racing from Dover, Massie probably will not get a haircut in between. And if he does, I'll be very upset. And I'm sure you guys will be too. Give us one more look at the mullet before we say goodbye.
See, look at the fluff there.
Oh, man.
On that side, too.
That is elite. That is Sheldon Creed level mullet.
Not quite Sheldon Creed, but maybe somewhere in the Stenhouse range.
All right, I'll give you that. Well, thank you, mullet man. This has been fun.
Yeah, it has.